Here we are, Tim
Kalafut.
Kalafut. Tim, where are you from? Where are you coming to us from?
I'm at Sam Houston State University.
Okay.
We are in Huntsville, Texas, in the piney woods of East Texas, hour north of Houston.
Excellent. And what do you do over there?
I'm trying to mold the next generation of forensic scientists. I'm an associate professor.
Okay.
After 20 some odd years as a practitioner, I decided to go back to school.
No kidding. Okay, so you are teaching what kind of courses?
For our graduate program, I'm teaching population genetics.
Okay.
I am not a population geneticist, but apparently I know more than they do, so I teach them.
Okay.
And I'm doing a mixture interpretation course.
Okay, that's very exciting. Are those the only two courses that you're teaching or have taught in the past?
So far, that's all they've trusted me with.
Okay.
I'm new to this whole academic thing.
Okay.
We do have online courses available for undergraduates as a part of our, for example, you can get a chemistry degree with a forensic science minor.
Oh, wow. Okay.
SHSU has the largest criminal justice program in the country, and there are a lot of professionals that have gone back to school online through our program.
Oh, okay.
And they have a high interest in forensic science. So you can get a major in criminal justice and a minor in forensic science. So we have that component also.
That is excellent. So these students, what is their ultimate goal? What do they want to do? What jobs do they want to get when they're done?
Our graduate program is a mix of people who want to go into academia.
Okay.
Some folks want to go into research, but a lot of them are looking for a job in the crime labs.
Okay.
Our undergraduate online program is for somebody joined the sheriff's department somewhere in the U.S. right out of high school, and they realize that a degree would help them in their career path, so they take our online options.
Okay, so you have to bridge the gap between people being taught remotely and people in person.
Yes.
How's that been? I mean, I feel like the pandemic got us kind of set up, but how you doing with that?
The online component was in place long before the pandemic.
Okay. That's good.
But still, I like to see people's faces.
Yeah.
And
That's helpful.
I think my kids are in college right now, and they're very reticent about ever trying to go see their professor at office hours. And now that I'm on the other side, I'm like, go see your professor at office hours. They wonder if there's anybody out there that even cares.
Yeah.
When you show up,
yeah,
it at least shows that you care enough to go ask for help.
Yes, absolutely. And everyone does need help, right?
I do all the time.
I do too. I ask for help all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, help with these interviews, help with my hair. I mean, these curls are tough to get in.
Yeah, it took you all morning.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, Video Steve came over to my room and he helped me. He brought all of his tools and he really helped because he likes these tight curls for the camera. So, yeah, I appreciate that. But, students nowadays have to adapt to doing that, kind of both, right?
Yes.
Going in person and online. And what's the most rewarding thing for you as an educator of these young scientists?
Really the chance to give them my 20 some odd years worth of mistakes in the crime lab.
Okay.
And hopefully shorten their learning curve so that when they go out and they are employed by people that come to conferences like this, they'll have learned from my mistakes and they won't have to make their own.
That's excellent. So having been in the crime lab for 27 years, things have really evolved over that amount of time in the world of forensics, right?
Yeah, so I started my career, not quite, I was 23 or 4 or something like that in the crime labs.
Okay.
Right at the tail end of the RFLP days.
Okay.
I watched us go through a little bit of the dot blot, but I was involved at the time in my lab validating profiler, co-filer at the very beginning.
Okay.
And I've been able to watch it move through the CPI realm to the RMP realm to the probabilistic realm.
Yes.
And now we're on the threshold of the next generation sequencing.
Yes, next gen sequencing, that's true. So you've, had to keep current on all of those past experiences. Do you pass that on to the scientists that you're training up now? Do they learn the history of the whole genealogy.
Yeah, so there are
move.
so there are some things that I talk to my students about, and I know they're looking at me like, "Why are you making such a big deal about this?"
Yes.
And I kind of have to step back and remind myself they haven't been through the war.
Right.
They don't know how much weeping and gnashing of teeth was in the U.S. community when we decided to move from population genetic model 4.1 to 4.2. And I've also realized I can pull rank on them.
You can.
And just make them learn 4.2 out of the gate.
Yeah.
They don't know the difference.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes, I'm having some adjustments.
That's awesome. Do you have any star students? Anybody in your care right now that you're like, wow, this person is going to be amazing?
We have some very, very strong students in our program, yes. And one of the things that's fun for me is for those very strong students, I can just pick up the phone and say, just, hey lab, take your help wanted sign down. I've got somebody for you.
Oh,
and
excellent.
That I find satisfaction in being able to connect students that I know are going to go out there and set the world on fire with a lab who's looking for somebody that week.
That's excellent. So does ISHI allow you to, kind of find out who those people are, what labs are needing assistance?
Absolutely.
So
and it allows it allows me to interact, and my co-faculty aren't here at this meeting this time around, but it allows us to interact with vendors who have next things coming down the pike.
Yeah.
And our program is well funded. We have graduate assistantships for the master's level students as well as the PhD, but they owe us 20 hours a week of work for those assistantships. So I'm able to come to companies like Promega or whoever and say, hey, we've got 16 students in our program this year. Multiply that times 20, and if you've got some alpha testing you want done, we've got the labor for you.
That is a good relationship to have. That's really, really neat. And so have you been able to make that relationships like that because you've been in this field for so long? Because I'm not sure that many other instructors would have that,
Yes, I think that being old has some benefits and being around for a while. The whole thing about networking is real.
Yes.
It's real.
Yep. That's awesome. So where do you feel like the world of forensics is headed? Can you see, when you come to something like this, you go to some talks, can you see where things are headed and where you might have to adjust for your future?
Yes. So, for example, last week I did my first ever NGS wet work.
Perfect.
After being in the crime lab for a long time, where it really hasn't shown up yet.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that from the front end now, and I'm hoping to make a contribution to make it so labs can adapt and adopt NGS. But where I see forensics going is related to the evaluation of DNA evidence given activity level propositions.
Break that down into somebody who might not know exactly what you just said.
It's very simple.
Okay.
DNA started out helping to answer the who question, WHO.
Yeah.
Rearrange those letters and you get the how question. And testimony, in my experience, nobody challenges that's not my DNA anymore. Now everybody wants to talk about how did the DNA get there?
Yeah.
Did it get there because of some reason that has nothing whatsoever to do with the events that have brought us all to the courtroom today? Or did the DNA get there for a reason that requires us to all be in this courtroom? And so the trick to that is to maintain your lane as an expert in evaluating the evidence if, and that's the magic word, if one thing happened compared to if some alternate thing happened.
That's true. So I brought this up the other day. Since we're going to be in Denver for ISHI 34, which we hope to see you at.
Sure.
Okay. So there's skiing there, and I was talking about the first time I went skiing. I fell down, my pole snapped off my tooth in half, and left blood in the snow and on the ground on Cascade Mountain near Madison, Wisconsin. Now, if there's ever a crime in that area, are they going to be able to find my DNA?
I think you're probably pretty safe.
Yeah, that was when I was 16.
I would
It's been a few years,
so
but,
that would be
you know,
an example.
I always think of that.
Blood on the
Never.
ground
Okay.
has a very high probability if you busted off your tooth snow skiing. That would be a very high likelihood.
Yes.
So
yep. Very high probability.
your alternative probably has a much lower probability. So we could go to court and try and convince the court
that's a good way to look at
that
it.
this evidence is actually much more likely if somebody got popped in the mouth skiing than if they
had a chainsaw and they were running up the hill and they cut somebody in half.
Sure. There you go.
I feel like that would be different. That's probably less likely to happen.
Yes, because
Cascade
we have to
Mountain.
think about, well, how likely is it for somebody to have a chainsaw with them while they're skiing?
Right.
I'm not going to say it's impossible,
It's true.
but it's probably very low probability.
Yep. And I would say that the number of people who have bled on the hill because of a skiing accident, right?
Well, that would probably be
that would
rather
be
high.
Pretty high.
Yes.
Right? Like I'm not the only person that's probably broke my tooth off. Not even that special, but there's probably a very low number of people who have been chainsawed.
Your DNA profile would show that you are special.
Oh,
we can't quite say you're
that's
unique.
So nice.
We probably
Thank you.
can't use the word unique, but we can be assured that you are special.
Special. I am special. Lots of people have told me I'm kind of special.
I've been told I have some special features as well.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Tim, it has been a pleasure hanging out with you and talking. Thanks for stopping by ISHI Central, and we will see you on the slopes in ISHI 34.
Let's hope so.
All right.